Alright everyone, it looks like YouTube has restored a layer of its algorithmic demotion, but it looks like it's more active now, and I'm looking at my own stats, and I'm seeing an astonishing clockwork-like pattern, which is I upload my videos in the morning, I gain 100, 200 subscribers, and then that number all of a sudden, over the course of a few minutes at some point late in the evening here, goes back down by about the same margin that it went up. And I'm thinking that there might be something screwy in the system, like people are being unsubscribed from the channel, and normally when people complain about that, it's just, you know, their material's gotten stale or something and sour grapes. But I'm hearing this from a lot of other people, number one, including people with larger audiences. And I'm not seeing it on any other platform. And that's really one advantage of being on, I think, 5 different video hosting platforms, is I can compare the metrics on these sites. And so even if I'm not making any unique independent content, even if the search is more primitive or Google blocks it like they do with, you know, the links to basically any other video site other than Dailymotion, and then only if you manually search for the video site. If you're growing on every platform except for the largest one, where you're the most visible and the most well-known, that's probably for a reason. And this didn't used to happen. Google never really played with its algorithms in the early days. It's really post-2016 they've been trying to screw with things. One part is that as far as news content goes, and that's, you know, at least half of the stuff I do on the channel, whether it's political or not, they deliberately, and they brag about this, they explicitly attempt to drive user traffic to mainstream sites, to authoritative sources, they call them. I guess Fox is authoritative, according to Sundar Pichai. CNN and Breitbart and the Young Turds and Salon and crap, boring crap like that. They try to drive it away from independent creators. It's interesting because YouTube explicitly disfavors YouTubers when it comes to that. There's a reason why all their competitors, especially among political and news content, are growing so quickly. We saw this with VidMe. Remember that VidMe did the same thing. It started to skyrocket, largely because of expat political commentators. They got cold feet, and they decided to block that from trending and to algorithmically demote videos that had to do with news and politics. They deliberately, they took people like me with large audiences who were making an exodus to the site. I was, I think, their 4th largest creator by subscriber totals towards the end. I think I was up there with views as well. They started getting a bunch of German gaming channels, by the way, in because gamers got algorithmically demoted, and instead of capitalizing upon this, they went haywire and shut things down because they wanted to be the humdrum little Reddit-style site, because they had $1 million from a bunch of Reddit team members, and so, of course, they have left-wing views, and they realized that most of the new commentators were libertarian or alt-light or something like that, and so they decided to demote them. The alt-tech wave we see now, with Rumble, with Odyssey, with BitChute, with others, they're not doing that. They're gaining steam very, very quickly. All of them are rising very quickly. Rumble isn't even a new site. It's from 2013, dude. I never knew it existed until this year, basically. I think I'd heard it mentioned a couple times last year. The only reason that it's taking off is because YouTube is censoring things. Well, I know when I'm being algorithmically demoted. I can tell because I've been doing this for 12 years. I can compare the metrics on YouTube with the metrics I have had in the past. I can see clearly a downturn or an upswing in views at different times. Sometimes the algorithm changes and it favors people like me. That happened there for months. I was soaring on ahead, and it wasn't just because of the election. That's not the way that it works with current events commentary, because again, new users are explicitly driven to mainstream MSM-style content. So it's not going to benefit you unless there's an algorithmic change. They're throttling back the suppression a little bit, which they did for a while, apparently. They've decided to reapply, but now it's now it's on subscriber totals. I'm basically dead in the water at the moment and have been for days because they changed the algorithm. It wouldn't be because of anything else, not happening anywhere else on the internet. Why is it that if I've already, BitChute is like 1% the size of YouTube, I've already got a massive audience share there because I'm well over 100,000 subscribers at this point. Why on earth, if I've got a similar share, like as a proportion of the total site's population, on a site that doesn't even have a perfect search system built yet, why would I be still skyrocketing there while I'm dead in the water on another site under the same auspices? again with a similar, ratio of user base. In fact, I think it would be a higher ratio on BitChute, so I should have exhausted more potential audience there, possibly by a significant margin. It doesn't make any sense. The math doesn't add up. It's sort of like the election. The math, statistically speaking, it's an anomaly. If you're growing everywhere except... I'm growing on Twitter. Dude, I get algorithmically throttled there and I'm still inching my way forward. I'm getting up towards 100,000 people that have joined me there just to basically read me shitpost. That's what it boils down to. And keep in mind, I've been throttling back a little bit on my efforts on YouTube specifically because of this. If YouTube wants its largest creators to say, well, there are greener pastures elsewhere, maybe I should start putting my toe in the water on Rumble. Maybe I should get a BitChute account. Maybe I'm a streamer. Maybe I start using DLive more than YouTube. Now, they're going to lose a lot of money. That's money. And they're alienating a bunch of their fans right now anyway because they're starting to put ads on non-monetized channels. Forbes has an article about it. Fucking Forbes is reporting on it, how asinine it is to say a video is not eligible for ads because you're not a partner or because the video is simply not eligible. It's too edgy. Our sponsors wouldn't like that, so we're going to serve ads on it and just not pay you. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. If I'm a corporation and I'm, by the way, giving YouTube money, why would I want ads on videos that I wouldn't like, even if the person's not getting paid for them? It's still appearing alongside that content. Wasn't that something? Didn't Coca-Cola or Ford or one of these companies bitch about YouTube years ago? Because, you don't want our brands compared with this alt-right stuff or something. They're taking ads. You need to kick them out of AdSense. I can't remember exactly which company it was, but one of them was bitching about that. Had like millions of dollars in YouTube, and they withdrew it. YouTube went haywire. And now they're demoting, 99% of their user base. Imagine you're a smaller creator right now. You've got a webcam, you got your microphone and stuff. Are you really going to want to bank on being a YouTuber? You can't even get monetized till you're at 1,000 or 10,000 subs, which you may never reach. You're going to be demoted from day one, so you're going to have an awfully steep hill to climb getting there. And even if you get there, they might say you're too edgy. You might get randomly banned by a bot, and it takes 2 weeks to restore your account. It doesn't make sense at this point. People, by the way, people ultimately are motivated by money. If they have ambitions and an urge at all, they're motivated primarily by their ability to make ends meet, or at least to make something. They want to produce, but they want to get something out of it. This is why capitalism works and socialism doesn't, by the way. This is why communism always fails. It's so bad it doesn't even get implemented according to the communists. The real communism has never been tried. They're going to go where the going's good. Well, if they see all these ads for Rumble, if they see, hey, this creator has like 60, 70,000 people on BitChute after a week, yeah, they're going to get accounts on other sites. If they're smart, they'll begin making exclusive content. I'm still one of the few creators that does this that hasn't been outright banned on the mainstream internet. It's paying dividends, dude. There's a reason why the growth is happening literally everywhere else. That's about all. Peace out.